Have you ever done a maths problem and you get to the end and you realize that you've done pretty much everything correctly, but your answer is just not, matching the mark scheme? The other day I was having a discussion with one of my maths colleagues and we were talking about making mistakes in the classroom. And one of the opinions was that making a mistake isn't a good thing because it loses confidence from the students in your ability to teach them. They start doubting whether you're teaching them the right things or not. They got an exam to pass at the end of the day, and if a teacher's up there making mistakes left, right and center, then it's not very reassuring for them. And I totally agree with this. But the mistake that I'm talking about is a different type of mistake. This is a kind of mistake that I really like making in the classroom. So let me tell you what I mean by this. Imagine I'm going through a really difficult question. Maybe I haven't prepared it myself. And the reason that I would not prepare sometimes a question myself is because it gives students time, the space to see me and how I think about breaking down the problem, scaffolding the problem, like especially a worded problem, full of sentences, very few numbers, and you have to break it up. So it gives them a chance to see how a mathematician should think about these problems. So often I would just show a really difficult question that I've not done before, or I've just come across it in an exam pack or whatever, and we're going through it. Most of the time, of course, we go through it quite fine. They get to see the thinking behind it. They get to see how we face problems at each step or each stage, and then we go through those problems. But sometimes, and this is very rare, but it's a good thing when it happens, I get to the end of it and then we check the answer and something's not right. The answer is not agreeing with the mark scheme or whatever. This type of mistake is very, very important because students also make this type of mistake. And what needs to happen now is what the students learn. And that is to go back into your working out, and this is very important as well because your working out needs to be very clear, very organized, and you go back into the working out and then you try to find, you seek for what is the step that you done something wrong, maybe you misunderstood something. And by the way, most of the time it's the most silliest mistake. It could be a negative sign that wasn't carried forward or something like that. And that experience gives them a whole sense of accomplishment, really. That's what it is, accomplishment. Because a problem shouldn't be you start there and you get to the final answer at the end because you assume that you know what steps to take every single time. And this is not how some of these questions are. Sometimes it's a unseen challenge that the students haven't seen. Yes, they have to use topics that they have to apply on those questions, but they might not know to apply those topics. And this gives you an opportunity to sort of test the different tools that mathematics, GCSE mathematics provides the student in solving some of these problems. And this type of mistake, I feel, is very, very important for students to see. So if a teacher goes into the lesson, already has done it, that's great. But if they just do that and they don't go through potential misconceptions, potential problems that a student might face, and this only comes through experience. This is not something that a teacher with 1 or 2 years teaching experience will be able to do so easily. This will take something like 10 years of teaching experience, seeing different kind of students, asking different types of questions, and the way they think about maths may not be the way you think about maths. So this type of mistake, I believe, is very crucial. Let me know what you think about this. Perhaps a teacher in your school has made a mistake like this that you've all benefited from. I want to hear your views and opinions on this, whether you are a student or even if you're a teacher. What happens when you make mistakes like this? Do you recover? Obviously, you've got to have a high level of confidence in order to be able to recover. But let me hear what you think. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you.